first start off and discuss applying to jobs that you qualify for. Here's the first tip, professional. You want to make sure you have relevance to the qualification of the role. Remember, this is business. Companies are looking to hire candidates who can fulfill requirements and solve problems for them based on the skill set necessary to handle the role. I think sometimes we want the opportunity or the chance to align to a great role or company, but if you really break it down and think in terms of fulfillment, you may see why you're not as desirable as someone who may have more relevancy to the qualifications than you do. And let me make one point clear, professional. No, I'm not saying not to go for an opportunity just because you don't check all the boxes. But what I am saying is make sure you can value sell yourself before you job search and click apply. Hey professionals, thank you so much for tuning in and for the support of this platform. For returners, welcome back. I'll keep the good tips flowing. And if you're new, I'd like to give a quick intro. I'm Coach Tysha, a career coach that specializes in professional messaging. I help my clients and my audience cultivate, enhance, and perfect their professional stories so they can confidently message and articulate them on paper, online, and in person. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you never miss my guidance as I provide tactical tips and strategies that will empower, enable, and lead you into workplace success. Okay, so there's that. So, professionals, I spend a lot of time speaking on topics involving branding, storytelling, and presenting your resume and yourself as the choice candidate to hire. But today, I'd love to speak about job searching practices that may help to accelerate getting to the interview, as well as tactics to employ when the answer is no or there's no response. Let's get into this week's tip, shall we? Here's tip number 30, job searching like a professional. Okay, let's first start off and discuss applying to jobs that you qualify for. Here's the first tip, professional. You want to make sure you have relevance to the qualification of the role. Remember, this is business. Companies are looking to hire candidates who can fulfill requirements and solve problems for them based on the skill set necessary to handle the role. I think sometimes we want the opportunity or the chance to align to a great role or company, but if you really break it down and think in terms of fulfillment, you may see why you're not as desirable as someone who may have more relevancy to the qualifications than you do. And let me make one point clear, professional. No, I'm not saying not to go for an opportunity just because you don't check all the boxes. But what I am saying is make sure you can value sell yourself before you job search and click apply. This is where resume strategy comes into play. It must be very clear on what you've done and could do if hired. Message your story of fit to the role like a professional. The next tip I'd like to discuss is researching connections. Okay, so you've found a great opportunity. You know you're qualified for the role. Now, my tip to you is to assess your network proximity to identify who may be an ally or advocate or insider to you aligning to the company. Do you have any contacts currently working there or who are former employees? Do you share a mutual connection with a friend or peer who could offer a virtual introduction? Here's another tip. Utilize groups and hashtags to learn about opportunities that you may not be privy to. What's a group? A community of like individuals connected by the same interest or goal. Maybe a job or maybe an interest or role. Hashtags, those can sync you to information you may be seeking regarding a thing or etc. My suggestion is to search for jobs or people connected to opportunities that you may find useful. Try hashtagging your industry on LinkedIn. You'll be surprised on what populates. Here's my final tip for you. Utilize a headhunter or staffing firm to be presented to the hiring manager or company's recruiter. There are sources, connectors really, who are seeking what you may have to fulfill the need of who's hired them to maybe find you. Make your search easy by connecting to a few sources who will present you with the opportunity you're seeking. Before I wrap, I want you to also remember to track your job search traction. Stay organized by creating a list of your application process or progress. Bookmark the company's roles, dates of applying, and the correlating hiring manager or recruiter to stay on top of your job search progress. Create job alerts through several outlets that pull job opportunities together, like Indeed, Idealist, Dice, or Glassdoor. And speaking of Glassdoor, do your research by learning employee insights on their experience with the company, the interview process, and the pay. You want the 411 on the opportunity with the company that you feel is right for you. Perhaps there'll be some steps or guidance on what they experience to affirm or dismiss your interest, because you may not even want to continue the search there. We're almost out of time here, but I can't end today's video without giving you this tip. When you hear nothing or the answer is no, don't stop the search, keep going, and let that motivate you to apply to even more opportunities. I remember in my corporate America days, for every no receipt, I exerted energy into applying to at least 4 or 5 more jobs. But if you're feeling you're qualified and don't understand and didn't receive the feedback or insight you were hoping for, and likely you didn't, and you probably won't, because those canned email messages, they're always referencing going in a different direction or thinks the applicant pool was very heavy and unfortunately you're not the choice. But take some time to ask yourself, on a scale of 0 to 100%, what percentage did you match the job requirements? Also, ask yourself the question of if your resume is really presenting you as strongly as possible. I think you know someone who can help with that. Okay, that's all for today. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I invite you to pause and have a chat with me so we can discuss things professionally. If you need some guidance pivoting or career planning and navigating, let's definitely chat. You can email me at hi@coachtysha.com or visit professionallypause.com to book your free 15-minute intro and discovery call with me. Stay encouraged, stay professional. XoXo Coach Tysha.